So hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin is going back into this green target area. So nothing unexpected, as in the previous videos I've repeated time and time again that the ideal retracement for a wave 4 is actually the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level, and we have never reached it. So if I draw that again, you can expect, and that was still the most likely scenario. Let's take this small dip here aside, because here temporarily it looked like as if Bitcoin obviously broke out of that larger channel, but obviously the daily candle didn't close outside of the channel, so that is always important to wait for. But for now, looking generally here, we can see that Bitcoin is going back and possibly starting its way all the way to that 38.2% Fib level at 42 point. No, sorry, it needs to be a bit lower, I think. Let me just draw that. No, it needs to be like that. So I need to start here. Yes, so needs to be a bit higher now, and that needs to be a bit adjusted. So there you go. So yeah, it is around, we can't see it anymore, 42.3. That is what I said in the previous video as well, that this is just for a wave 4 the most likely scenario. So I see currently two possibilities here how this all could work out. I sat down in the afternoon and looked at the Elliott Wave count and the possibilities how this could now play out in this channel, because Bitcoin is still in this overall channel. And you know that my scenario is still that we are going to end up in this yellow target range. I already had a few questions today, is, you know, is the sell-off over and everything? No. I mean, nothing has been validated. The situation hasn't changed. This is more of a medium-term view here. So that view that we are coming down into this area here between 20 and 29K, yeah? This is sort of a medium-term view. I can't tell you how fast that will happen. I had hoped it would be finished towards the end of Q1, but obviously we're already in Q2 because Bitcoin made a bit of a break of that correction down. So this move down here was of course quite impulsive. We're now correcting here this impulsive move to the upside, and we would expect here in the next move that sell-off. Then nothing has been invalidated, and it will not be invalidated. As I said, you know, I've been here fairly consistent, and this has been the scenario since November for me. And so, you know, we came very close. We came to 33K already. I told you down here that we can expect now a larger move up to a wave 4, because Bitcoin was just very, very much oversold, right, down here. So therefore, we saw that, and this, however, is taking much longer than expected. Also, I wouldn't have expected such a long channel here, in which we currently are. But however, this is sort of the longer term, the medium term view. And at the moment, the view is here that we came down, obviously move up here a little bit, do the correction, finish the correction off here, and then will go down in a final sell-off. Yeah. This counts as long as Bitcoin doesn't break out of this channel to the upside. If it does that, it has a chance to move higher, to move into this region between 55 to 65K. This scenario is not dead at all. It will be invalidated below 34.3K. Then that alternative here would be invalidated. But so far, my primary scenario has been this move down. There was only a brief period where I switched over to this alternative move to then come down, but I think now that this was more of an exaggeration of here in this channel, that it just led Bitcoin to move a little bit too high, maybe because of the Terra Luna purchases, you know, the Luna Foundation, or any other MicroStrategy, for example, right? Okay, so far no reason to panic. Everything within the scope of the scenario. Told you that as I said, the ideal scenario for that wave 4 is here, that 42.3K level. It could even go that wave 4 to 43.3, which is the 50% Fib retracement. Even that would all be possible, and we could even move above it, right? We could even move all the way to that, you know, see the wave 1 here, That wave 1 is sitting at 44.3, so we could theoretically even move all the way up to that level, even though, you know, that would be the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement. That would be for a wave 4 a little bit too much normally, yeah, but technically still possible. So in case you were a bit confused now, so this scenario would of course imply that we are still here in this wave 4. Personally, I think that is the case, yeah, because this, again, a wave 4 is normally boring, long, whatever, and we can see how long this wave 4, if it is currently my view that this here, all of this in the channel is or was a wave 4. If it's complete yet, then that this was a wave 4. It took months. The wave 4 that we had before that was that super boring time before Christmas, yeah, also a wave 4, and the fractals look fairly similar. But yeah, so that is my view that this could still be that wave 4. And as I said, the ideal retracement is that 38.2. So I would not at all be surprised if we reach the 42.3 or even the 43.3 in that scenario. Unfortunately, we broke here briefly to the downside, which, yeah, made it a bit tricky. Now, in that scenario, this here would of course be the wave 3 then, yeah. This would be the wave 3, this would be the wave 4, and then we would get the final, well, the wave 5 down. If we look at that for that wave 5, so let's say, all right, let's say Bitcoin moves to 42.3, then we get a wave 5, and the way this looks at the moment, this could really end somewhere mid 35. So of course it's possible we get a super extended wave 5, as I showed it before in other videos, but let's just take the Fibonacci extensions here. The problem is there are different ways of calculating targets for a wave 5. And in that case, we could come down in that wave 5, for example, to the 2.618 Fibonacci extension. Yeah, and that would be at 36K. So without a problem, we could get sort of in this region here around the 2.618 Fib extension in that wave 5. The problem is the way this currently looks, and also if I look at the indicators, they are already, they are fairly low still. You know, we have not yet massively recovered. So the reason is, or the problem is that you always just look at the indicator. When you have a wave count, for example, combine it with certain indicators, the indicators are fairly low, for example, on the daily, meaning do they really support a straight away move down from 42K to, for example, 27K? I'm a bit skeptical about that. Well, that would mean for me that we could get a 5-wave move down here, yeah. That would then be again corrected to the upside before we then get the move down. And I know it would again take longer, it would again be painful, you know. So that means that yes, we would be here in this final wave 5 already, but that this here is only the first wave of that 5th wave, because a 5th wave consists of 5 waves. So that means what you would eventually get, and let me just visualize that a little bit, that all of this here would be a wave 1. Then you can come up once more in a wave 2. You move down in a wave 3. You move up in a wave 4. You come down in a wave 5. That would complete that yellow wave 5. Yeah. And what sort of confirms that for me, or at least makes it very likely, because we can only talk about probabilities, what makes it likely is that Bitcoin came down here quite impulsively, so this could really be, and you can count it as an impulse, yeah. Now this is one way, yeah, implying that the wave 4 is still ongoing here, yeah, with an ideal target around 43.2 to 42.3 to 43.5, yeah. Okay. The other way would of course be to say, right, need to move that back, that this here was already the wave 3, this here was already the wave 4, absolutely legitimate and possible, because the minimum retracement for that wave 4 has happened. And as I showed in the previous video already, that this here could have been the wave 5. So what does that mean? That pretty much is the same scenario as I've just shown you. It just means that in case of Bitcoin going up now to here 42.3 or 43.5, because this would be the ideal level for a wave 4. No, it would mean that we have already completed that first wave of the larger 5th wave, which means that we are now starting a second corrective wave, which would mean that what you're gonna get now is an ABC. So you get an wrong thingy here. A second, that you get, where is it? That you already now get your correction, that second wave. So you have a wave 1 down, you have your second wave up. So how far could that wave 2 go? So that means in both scenarios we can now expect a little bit of a move up, right? So either first here a little bit higher in the green area, or straight away even higher, because a wave 2 can obviously retrace much more, as you know, if you've been following me here for a while. So where could the wave 2 land? Now that wave 2 could land in this region above 43.3. So 43.3 would pretty much be the minimum. So there's a bit of an overlap in between both possibilities, but it could even go up without a problem to 46.1 and maybe even 47k. Yeah. So that is unfortunately what it is. And this means in both of these imminent, even in the imminent sell-off scenarios, because it looks like an impulse has been completed, yeah. And even if not, even if we have this scenario, we would expect it primarily to move a little bit higher, just purely because it is the most likely retracement level, that 42.3k level. Okay, just to summarize so that nobody gets confused, here, first possibility, that the wave 4 is not complete yet and that we move a little bit higher now. We don't have to, but it is more likely to 42.3 or even 43.45 before we then get a move down maybe into the region of 36k, which after that would be corrected and could move up again into the region 45, 46, 47k. The other possibility is this one here, that we already completed 5 waves and that we already starting this larger correction, again 45, 46, 47k possible. So in both scenarios, higher prices likely, makes sense because we're already back in the channel as well, and also today made a higher high. Now if you ask me which of these two possibilities would I prefer or think it's more likely, personally I think that we are in this one. That is just my personal opinion, but I don't know. I don't know. Suppose we would only really know above 44k, because then we get into this wave 1 target area, and then it would imply that no, this was the wave 4, 5, and then this is already the wave 2. Okay, so yeah, expect, unfortunately, but what that also means in both scenarios, it will probably take a little bit longer until we reach that 29 to 20k area, because in both of these possibilities, the way the price is now developed, in both possibilities, we have to expect first a little bit higher prices, and then generally that all of this movement now will be corrected. Then we come down, this will be corrected again, and then we come down finally. And that's, yeah, that can play out. Again, how long did that move down take? So it took from actually the 10th of November all the way to the 23rd of January. So realistically, you can expect probably a couple of more months, maybe, but I can't really tell you how long it will really take. Nobody knows that. But yeah, this is where we are, and hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that gives you a bit of orientation about where we currently are in the Bitcoin chart. And of course, I don't know. Yeah, this is only probabilities, only how the price appears to me. So, and again, it's only a momentary snapshot of the chart, as I always say, right? Because I give you this medium-term picture here, and this hasn't changed since November. But of course, due to the daily noise in the crypto market, things can happen quickly and we have to adapt to them, right? So this could of course be traded. Yeah, absolutely it could, but I personally don't do it. What I told you before is if we move above this 41 or above the previous high, yeah, and obviously get a retest done, that's always what I would recommend, wait for a retest, then this could be a long signal. Of course, there is a risk we only move all the way up to 43.3k. But then again, if you really do the trading, the short-term trading, you should always wait for reversal signals anyway. So, but obviously you know that if you're trading, so you have to react quickly to the market if things change. But certainly the message here is above 41.6 or above 41.5. If we move higher and do a retest, and currently we haven't done a retest, then, we have failed the retest, then higher levels are possible. Okay, so and if we take a look at what Bitcoin is doing just now, well, okay, it failed to break above the previous resistance. It made a slightly higher high, but it's already struggling to push much higher. So I think probably in the next few days we're gonna know in which of these scenarios is now going to play out. So again, we need, as always, a little bit of patience. That's always required in the crypto market. And unfortunately also, we are not yet in a clear trend, in my opinion, even though this is of course here an impulse and we might see the correction. The problem is that we are still here in the range. Yeah, so you're sort of still in a sideways move. Yeah, so that is what is a bit problematic. And therefore, what I can tell you is, in my opinion, we have not finished the overall correction. I think that is what interests most people. My opinion is that we go much, much lower. We will end somewhere here in this area. And as I said to you before, my opinion is that we are going to see that capitulation phase. And that will really be when a lot of people are giving up. A lot of people are super frustrated. In that scenario, also a lot of altcoins will probably be smashed. Yeah, not that they are gonna die, but they will be smashed. They will be hammered. And we can expect much lower prices for altcoins. As you know, for Cardano, I'm envisioning a 30 to 55 cent Cardano in this scenario. Solana, $30 to $55. So yeah, Polkadot, 5 to 11. So we talked about all of that in previous videos. And yeah, that is currently how I see the market. Of course, always, if things change, I make you aware in the next video. All right, hopefully you liked the update. It was a bit of a longer one, but I wanted to explain it in detail to give you a better orientation of what is currently happening. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then check out the channel membership and also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and you can find the links in the description. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.